Hello students, you're welcome to Institute School. My name is Mr. Emmanuel, your business studies tutor. In this session, we will be treating questions from 2022 past BECE exams. Question 1 says, which of the following shows the full details of a worker's pay? Which of the following shows the full details of a worker's pay? Is it payroll, cash pay, pay slip, or pay cash? The document which shows the allowances, basic pay, deductions, and every sum that a worker gets is called the pay slip. The document that shows the pay or the salary or the payments made to all the workers in total is the payroll, but the one that shows for an individual worker is called the pay slip. So the correct answer here is option C, pay slip. Question 2. Which is the most effective medium of advertising that can penetrate the remote part of the country? Is it catalog, newspaper, magazine, or radio? Catalogs and newspapers are for learned. Catalog, newspapers, and magazines are read by people who can read and write. They are mostly found in the cities, but radios can be found anywhere in the country and does not require the ability to read and write. So the answer is D. Question number 3. Which of the following is a current liability? Bills payable, bills receivable, stock, or cash? Current liabilities are debts. They are obligations of the organization that are repayable, that are to be met within a period of 1 year. Cash and stocks are assets. They are current assets of the organization. Bills receivables are also current assets. They are money that are owed to the business, which the business will collect within a year period. But bills payable are the expenses or payments that the company has to pay for, and their validity period are usually within a year. Question number 4. The following are parts of keyboarding except 1. Alphanumeric keys, mouse, numeric keys, and function keys. The alphanumeric keys are the keys that have alphabets. The numeric keys are the numbers, while the function keys are the F1 to F keys. So all of these are on the keyboard except a mouse. The mouse is a separate part of a computer completely. So mouse is not a part of keyboarding. Option B. Number 5. The movement of goods and passengers from one place to another is known as dash. Is it tourism, motoring, hawking, or transportation? Tourism is when you leave your usual residence to another place for a specific reason for a particular period of time. Motoring is the act of driving. Hawking is the moving around with goods for the purpose of selling them, or for the purpose of meeting consumers to sell them to. While transportation is the movement of goods and services and persons from one place to another. So the answer here is D, transportation. Question number 6. Which of these is not a quality of a bookkeeper? Subjectivity, integrity, accuracy, and confidentiality. Confidentiality means keeping the company information secret from the public. Accuracy means being correct in your record keeping. Integrity means being of good character, acting in an honorable manner. While subjectivity means making decisions based on emotions or on sentiments. And this should not be a quality of a bookkeeper. A bookkeeper should not be subjective. A bookkeeper should be objective. Question number 7. Dash is an external issue which is unfavorable for the achievement of the goals of an organization. Issues that are favorable for the achievement of organizational goals are strengths and opportunities. The strengths are internal, the opportunities are external. The issues that are unfavorable to the achievement of an organizational goal are weaknesses and threats. The weaknesses are internal while threats are external. So the answer here is B, threats. Question number 8. Dash is the original document used to show that transactions have taken place. There's the evidence of transactions. Are they transaction documents, subsidiary documents, source documents, or documentary evidence? You may be confused and think it is documentary evidence, but that is not the correct name that they are called in bookkeeping and accounting. The correct name is source documents. Question 9. The activities that affect trade are called dash. Are they aids to trade, trade agents, home trade, or origin trade? This should be quite easy. Home trade is a division of trade, one of the two types of trade. Trade agents are people who work on trading. And so activities that affect trade, that support trade, are called aids to trade, and they include activities like transportation, communication, advertising, banking, among many others. Question number 10. Dash is used to record goods returned to suppliers on credits. Where do you record goods that you return back to the suppliers that brought them for us? Is it sales journal? Is it return outward journal? Is it return inward journal or purchase journal? Your sales and purchases journal are used to record goods that are sold and bought on credit. The sales journal is used to record all the sales that you make on credit. The purchase journal is used to record all the purchases that you made on credit. The return outward journal is used to record goods that you initially bought and you're returning back to the supplier. The return inward is used to record goods that we had initially sold and they have been returned to us. So in this case, the correct answer is option B, return outward journal. Question number 11. One of these is not a tool of e-commerce: ATM, social media, e-television, or email. This should be very easy. There is nothing like an e-television. ATM is an automated teller machine that makes it possible for you to pay without seeing the buyer, without the buyer and the seller being face to face. Social media is an opportunity, gives the opportunity for the seller to advertise to the seller and transact without seeing each other, as well as email. But e-television is not one of them. So the correct answer here is option C. Question number 12. Which of these is not a type of special journal? A says purchase journal, B says return inward journal, C says return outward journal, and in this question they left option D blank. So for this case, option D is the answer, because our purchase journal, return inward, and return outward are all types of journal. Other types of journal include the sales journal, the general journal. Question number 14. Books kept in a warehouse. Goods kept in a warehouse are also called dash: inventures, inventories, O-score, and IV options. The goods that you keep in your warehouse that are kept for the purpose of selling, that is, the items that you sell that are stored in the warehouse, are called inventories. So the correct answer is option B. Question number 14. All of the following are parts of a typewriter except for one. Is it cylinder nut, space bar, front spacer, or carriage release? The cylinder nut is used to roll papers. The space bar is used to create space in your typing or in your documents. The carriage release is used to move the cylinder nut compartment back, but there is nothing in the typewriter that is called front spacer. So option C is the odd option there. Option C. Question number 15. The excess of gross profits over expenses is called, is it yearly profits, it profits, gross profits, or net profit? Clearly it's not gross profits because it's the excess of gross profits over expenses, and that is called the net profits. Option D. Question number 16. Dash is the act of buying goods and services from the wholesalers and selling in smaller quantities. Is it retail, wholesale, home, or foreign? Now, home trade is the buying and selling within a country. Foreign trade is the buying and selling across a country's border. Wholesaler is the person who buys in large quantity and sells in a reduced quantity to the retailer. But the person who buys, or the act of buying from the wholesaler and selling in smaller quantities, is called retail. The activity is called retail, and it is done by a retailer. So the correct answer is option A, retail. Number 17. Re-exporting of imported goods is called what? Goods that you have initially imported and then you are re-exporting it. Is it called exports, imports, entry-ports, or home trade? Exports is when you sell goods out of your country. Import is when you buy goods into your country. But when you buy into your country for the purpose of sending out of your country, it's called entry-port. Option C. Question number 18. A principal book into which accounts are transferred into from journal entries is called dash. A principal book into which accounts are transferred from the journal entries called dash. Is it journal book, cash book, personal ledger, or ledger? When transactions take place, the source documents are the first records that are kept. Now, these source documents are used to enter entries into the subsidiary books or the journal entries. Then from your journal entries, they are transferred into ledger accounts. So the correct answer here is option D, ledger. Question number 19. The creation of goods and provision of services is known as dash. Is it production, education, market, or extraction? This is production, the creation of goods, and provision of services is production. Education is the impartation of knowledge into another person. Market is any arrangement where the buyer and the seller meet, while extraction is the activity of getting raw materials from their natural states. So the answer here is A, production. Question number 20. The cash book with columns for cash and bank is known as dash. Is it ledger, two-column cash book, petty cash book, or sales ledger? The sales ledger is not a cash book. A petty cash book is similar to a cash book, but it is not a cash book. It is a special cash book that is used to record small expenses or minute expenses. A ledger is a general name for the principal book of accounts where entries are transferred to. But a cash book that has column for both the cash and bank is called a two-column cash book. If it has column for cash, bank, and discount, then that's a 3-column cash book. So the answer here is option B, 2-column cash book. Question number 21. An introductory card is dash. Is it an admission card, a memorandum, a dossier, or a business card? An introduction card is a card that introduces yourself, your business, where your office is, and your contact details, and that is equally a business card. So the answer here is option D. Question number 22. What part of the computer is the brain of the computer? Is it the CPU, the keyboard, the mouse, or the monitor? The monitor is an output device to see what you have typed. The mouse is an input device used to control your activities on the system, and the keyboard is an input device to enter data into the system. The CPU is the central processing unit, and that is the brain of the computer. Option A. Question number 23. Which of these is an example of skilled labor? Barber, doctor, fisherman, or bricklayers? A skilled labor is someone who cannot perform that duty without formal education. A skilled labor is someone who cannot perform their duty without skilled labor. For semi-skilled labor, they require training, but not necessarily formal training. So for a barber and bricklayer and fisherman, they require some training, but not formal training. But a doctor must attend a university, a medical school, before they become a doctor to practice as a doctor. So the answer here is option B. Question number 24. A trader purchases goods worth 12,000 naira and was given a trade discount of 5%. What is the amount of trade discount? So the discount is 5%. So the amount of trade discount is simply 5/100 times 12,000, and so 2 zeros cancels 2 zeros here. We are left with 5 times 120, and that gives us 600. So the correct answer here is option C, 600. Okay, so we move on to question number 25. This is any activity performed or service rendered which provide goods and services for people is known as dash. Any activity that people undergo to perform, to render service is, or to provide goods and services is called dash. Is it a profession, career, language, or business studies? Now this, the activity that people do, that a person would say, this is what I do, and that activity renders service to people or provides goods and services, is called the person's career. It's called the person's profession. A career is an elongated service. So when your profession is done over a long period of time, then it becomes your career path. But the activity itself is called a profession. So the correct answer here is option A. Question number 26. A specific percentage that a seller allows the customer to deduct and encourage prompt payment is called dash. Is it discount, cash discount, trade discount, or cash book? Now when there is a deduction in price, it is called discount. Now, if the essence of the deduction is to encourage bulk purchase, then that is a trade discount. But if the essence of the discount is to encourage prompt payment, then it is called cash discount. So in this case, it is to encourage prompt payments, and the answer is cash discount, option B. Question number 27. A person who attends and directs visitors, a person who attends to and directs visitors to the appropriate office in an organization is it the secretary, the stenographer, the receptionist, or the office attendants? The secretary has as an assistant to the head. A stenographer is someone who does specialized writing. A receptionist is someone who takes who is the first point of contact of visitors and directs them accordingly in an organization. So our correct answer is option C, receptionist. The receptionist works at the reception to receive visitors. Question number 28. Which one is not a right of a consumer? Which one is not a right of a consumer? Right to be heard, right to seek redress, right to choose, or right to credit facility? A consumer has the right to be heard, to be listened to. If a consumer has concerns or complaints, he has the right to be listened to. A consumer has the right to seek redress. When a consumer has been wronged or have been badly attended to or treated, the consumer has the right to seek redress, to seek a correction of the wrong that has been done. And a consumer has a right to choose any of the products that they wish to buy. But a consumer do not have the right to credit facilities. Credit facilities are extra privileges that buyers give to consumers or customers. So the answer here is option D. Option D is not a right of consumers. Question number 29. Which of these is paid from petty cash? Which of these is paid from petty cash? Is it land, stationery, furniture, or motor van? Petty cash is a cash that is set aside for small day-to-day expenses of the organization. They are recurring and they are of small amounts. Now, land does not reoccur and it involves a huge amount. Furnitures equally do not reoccur, and they also have large amounts. It's not every day you buy new sets of chairs in your house or in your office. The same thing as motor van. Motor vans would usually have a lifespan of 5 years, but stationaries, they reoccur and the amounts are small. You can buy biro every month, sometimes every week. You can buy papers every week. You can buy staple pin every month or every week. So those things, they reoccur and they are usually costing small amounts. So correct answer here is option B, stationaries. They are paid from the petty cash. Question number 30. When keyboarding, your arm should be at what angle? Is it 360 degree, 180 degree, 90 degree, or 45 degree? When you are keyboarding, you should be seated upright and your hands would rest on the table where you have your keyboard. When you do that, your arm would be at 90 degree. That is, your arm would be well rested with your back straight. So your arm would be at 90 degree. So the correct answer here is option C, 90 degree. Question number 31. The reception's office is usually located, is it at the back, or in the toilet, or in the last floor, or near the entrance? You recall we said the receptionist works in the reception. And what's the duty of the receptionist? to attend to visitors. So for this reason, the receptionist's office, which is the reception, is always near the main entrance so that they can easily see visitors when they are coming in and attend to them accordingly. Question number 32. Which of these is not a reason for entrepreneurship? A, is it to depend on the government, or because of unemployment, or to make a living, or for self-reliance? Now, when you become an entrepreneur, or when you're engaged in entrepreneurship, you are self-employed and would even employ other people. So you are self-reliant. You rely on yourself. You make a living from the business, and then you solve unemployment, but you do not rely on the government. So all of these are reasons for entrepreneurship except to depend on government. So option A is the answer. Question number 33. A trader bought 50 items at 90 naira and sold each item at 120 naira. How much was his profit? So the trader bought 50 items. He bought them at 90 naira and he sold it at 120. So what it means is that on each of them, he's making a profit of 120 minus 90. And 120 minus 90 will give us what? 30. Good. So he makes 30 naira profits on each of the products, but he bought 50 pieces, so he's making a profit of 30 times 50, and that is 1,500. So the correct answer here is option C, 1,500. I hope that's clear. All right. We move on to the next question, question number 34. We are fast running to the end of this class, and I hope you have been having a nice expository class. Question number 34. When keyboarding in class, you should focus on what? Is it your speed, or the time, or the script, or your accuracy? When you're keyboarding in class, it is good to achieve speed, but it should not be your major focus. You shouldn't focus on the scripts, but rather your eyes should be on the screen, and then you should ensure that you are typing the accurate thing. So accuracy should be your focus when keyboarding. And finally, question number 35. The three classifications of occupation are dash. Is it extractive, manufacturing, and constructive, or extractive, manufacturing, and companion, or manufacturing, constructive, and companion, or constructive, companion, and extractive? Now, companion is not a classification of an occupation. There are three classes of occupation. The first is extractive, people who get raw materials from the ground in their raw states. Then there is the manufacturing, people who convert the raw materials into finished goods. And then the constructive, people who use finished goods to build other products. So the correct answer here is option A, extractive, manufacturing, and constructive. Now that brings us to the end of this lesson on taking 2022 past business studies questions of BECE exams. Thank you for joining us. Do have a nice time. Join us in our subsequent classes. Bye.